listening to Impact Insights, a podcast from Impact, the annual magazine produced by the Telescope, Palomar College's student-run newspaper. On today's episode, I highlight the multilingual student body, staff, and programs that support the international student experience at Palomar. Hello, this is Varvara Vorobieva, staff writer for the Telescope. Would you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah. Hi, my name is Dima, and I'm a first year here in campus. Yeah.
Nice. What's your major?
My major is microbiology.
Nice. Do you know what you'd like to do with that?
Yeah, I'm with a pre-med focus, hopefully becoming a dermatologist.
Very cool. Nice. What brought you into wanting to become a doctor?
So I did some, back in Germany, some internships and volunteering at a bunch of different offices. And dermatology picked out the most of it just because like you have like the ability to help people and a surface that like not everyone can. And I find it fascinating how you can input science to it as well.
Nice. So you mentioned Germany. You used to live in Germany?
No, I moved to the United States of America 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. Where are you from originally?
So my parents are from the Iraq, and I was born and raised in Germany.
Oh, cool. Where in Germany are you from?
Near Munich. So
Nice.
I lived in a place called Allgäu. It's like in Bavaria. Really nice place. Yeah.
Very nice. So you just moved here from around Munich 2 years ago?
Yeah, that's my second year here in America.
Very cool. And have you only lived in San Diego?
Yeah.
Already? Nice. Cool. Do you mind talking a little bit about how you got to know all the languages you know?
Yeah, so basically I know 5 languages, and my mother tongue is Arabic. I grew up trilingual with Arabic, German, and English. So also fun fact, like I spoke like these languages pretty late. My mom told me I started speaking, or like people could understand me by the age of 4 or 5. Just because I feel like maybe the languages, especially Arabic and German, because they are really hard languages too, it kind of like was really hard to me to understand and pick out which was German and which was Arabic. So I would speak more gibberish during kindergarten till I realized, okay, I need to like understand the organization of these languages.
So did you learn German, Arabic, and English all at the same time? Was there any first language?
So my first language, I would say, was Arabic. My mom was learning in the meantime German as well, so we mainly communicated in Arabic. And then German, of course, came through kindergarten, just the environment where I grew up. And my mom learned a lot of when I was learning as well, so we kind of learned together. And English, of course, like some phrases here and there. I wouldn't say it was my like third language that I would speak the most, but my uncles, they lived in United States back then, and we would communicate in Arabic with a little bit of English, so they taught me back then as well.
That's really cool. Did you also learn English in German school?
Yes, so they introduced us English in 3rd grade, just like some basic conversations, and then starting in 5th grade we learn the grammar, vocabulary, and so on, and then we get exposed to different languages as well.
And so ever since then, you've picked up some other languages? Would you like to talk about that?
Yeah, so Germany, how their school system works is in 6th grade, you need to choose between 2 languages, and my school offered Latin or French, and I chose Latin. Really interesting choice. And in 8th grade, you can pick between a science engineering class, I would say, and Spanish, and I chose Spanish.
And that's in addition to English that's already taught as well?
Yes.
2 more languages in school?
Yeah, so I chose, like, in Germany, I studied 3 languages in total, so Spanish, Latin, and English.
That's really cool. Would you like to talk about any particular languages you like really enjoy speaking, or anything specific that you really like about any of the languages? I know it's kind of an abstract question, but does anything come to mind?
No, I like that question. I feel like languages is a way to express someone's emotions and like just like to know others' culture as well. Now, for example, I like speaking all of them, and I enjoy being able to speak with different people around the world. And also I feel like just the way how beautiful each language can be with expressing their like feelings and everything can be said. Now, for example, Arabic, I would say, is a really like expressive language and a really poetic language, I would say too. So I enjoy speaking that if I have something in my like feelings or I want to express them. And with my grandma, for example, I speak a lot of Arabic. She doesn't speak English really, so German. So the only communication I have with her is Arabic, and she taught me a lot of Arabic too. So I'm really grateful for that. And now German, for example, I feel like represents honesty and like straightforwardness. It's a language really directed, and I like how the structure of these vocabularies are. Some people say it's a really harsh language, aggressive language. Me personally, I think it's just an honest language.
That's really cool. Thanks for sharing. Are there any particular phrases in those two languages you highlighted that you just think are fun that maybe don't really translate well to other languages?
No, for example, a German word that I like is probably like Fernweh. Fernweh is a feeling that you are yearning for something that has been missing in your life. It sounds sometimes harsh because of the Fernweh, like what do you mean with weh? It sounds pretty, I would say sad, but it's more like a yearning feeling. And then in Arabic, it's more like about the accent as well. I like the word shakumaku.
That's a fun
it's a fun word. And then you would reply to, like, I would say shakumaku, and then you would say makushi. And it's like, oh, have you been? How are you? Okay. And it's like, oh, nothing's up.
Oh, okay, nice. That's really cool. Thanks for sharing that. So with learning all those languages and coming to a place that is very multicultural here, right? But also a lot of Americans probably don't really speak too many languages. Would you say that it's helped you build community at all, or like find more connection with people being pretty new to this country? Like, has it helped you at all?
So it made me interesting as a person, I would say. When I moved, I'm like an ambient person, introverted and extroverted. So coming to a new environment, I was scared and I didn't know how I should express myself. But people came towards me and they were like, oh, like, where are you from? Like, it's just like interesting because like it's not happening every day that someone from a different country would come here. And then from that, they were like, oh, you speak so many languages. How do you know? Like, that's so cool. So it kind of built up my confidence as well. But learning languages definitely helped how I understand people and how I like understand my brain complexes. Like, I feel like, for example, like now, because I'm learning new stuff in English, back then I would translate it sometimes in German if I don't know the word. But now when I get used to it, like it shows like the complexity, how my brain like kind of goes away and like balances with these languages. And it also helps with communication, of course. I mean, it helped me how I would speak and how I choose the words. Because sometimes I would think, oh, how would I say it in German? I like that way of saying it better. And then I would try to translate it in English, for example.
That's really interesting. Maybe going a little bit back to the amount of languages you speak, would you say that kind of learning each one helps you understand just maybe the concepts of languages and helps you learn the next one? Or would you say they're all kind of different and it's not really?
No, for sure. Learning more languages does help you learn more languages, I would say. I feel like since it's a language really unfamiliar and you basically put yourself into it, it kind of gives you a structure how you can approach it. Each person learns differently. And for my way on learning languages is watching cartoons, actually. I like watching cartoons and seeing how words are getting expressed with body languages and also how they say it. And then from that on, if I like learning that language, I keep on learning it, and it helps me kind of see what just like daily conversations go. Because if you learn it from a textbook, it's really harsh and complicated for no reason. Like it can be so simplified. So it helped me a lot with how I approach learning languages for sure.
That's really cool. I can definitely resonate to that because I also am an immigrant, and my first language is Russian. And then I also learned English through a lot of media, Disney Channel. So maybe talking about that, would you say that, how do you like keep practicing a language if you're not using it constantly? Have you found that it's like some of your fluency is going away, or maybe not because you practice it a lot? I'm not sure.
So it does, depending on how much you use a language and how like less you speak it, it does kind of go away. Like for example, when I would visit America when I was still living in Germany, I saw drastically like increase on how I would speak it and how my like kind of like a flow stage. It was like so because I'm so used on speaking that language with like just like from people in my environment, I get used to it. And then when I go back for school, it does take me a couple of days to go back and speak German because I haven't spoken German with other people during that time. Now, since I haven't been to Germany since I moved here, every time I talk to my friends, sometimes like, let's say 3 months later, they'd be like, your accent kind of changed. Like, like you don't speak like you used to be in Germany. And I was like, yeah, because like I don't have German speakers here. Right. So it does.
That's true. Do you still watch any German media, or do you watch Spanish or any of the other languages you speak?
Yeah, so I mean, of course, like TikTok, Instagram, and all that. Sometimes they show me like German reels. I listen to German rap, actually.
Nice. German rap is fun.
Yeah, and the same with Spanish. I listen to a lot of Spanish songs, and I like watching medias in Spanish too, sometimes here and there. But I still need to kind of prioritize my Spanish more because I learned Spain Spanish, and here they speak primarily Mexican Spanish, and the vocabularies do differ. Yeah. So I want to learn the vocabs.
That's cool. So being a student, do you have much time to like keep up with those languages, or is it difficult?
So with Arabic and German, I keep talking German with my friends, with my siblings as well. Arabic, of course, with my mom, with my grandparents, uncles, and whatsoever. Now with Spanish, I do speak sometimes Spanish at work. So I do have opportunities to practice it.
Where do you work?
I work at a dental office.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So sometimes we have patients who only speak Spanish, and then I would explain their procedures and whatsoever in Spanish. But like conversational Spanish, I do want to practice it, and I see some likeness.
Nice. Very cool. Thanks for sharing. Would you say that knowing so many languages will continue to help you just, I don't know, as you're a student trying to establish yourself as a career, especially in the medical field, do you think that's gonna like affect the way that you go about being a doctor, communicating with patients? Do you see that helping you in any way?
Oh yeah. Also, one of the reasons why I want to learn more languages and become a doctor is the key of communications. I remember as a kid, I would see my mom like in front of the doctor, they would like explain the procedures, and then like 10-year-old me would be sitting next to her, and then I would like explain these big words and anything, and like with my broken Arabic to her. And it's like there's like of course I'm missing communications between the patient and the doctor, and I want to not have this with my patients. I want to like show them exactly what is going on with them, what I will be doing. Like I don't want the uncertainties having to them, and I also like having the connection between them. I don't want them to see them see me as a robot or like someone who's not inhuman, but I want to show them like empathy and like understanding.
That's really cool. Thank you so much for your time today.
My name is Carmelino Cruz. I work for the English as a Second Language Department. I've been there for 12 years, 13 years. Been about 12 years, I think. 11, 12.
Long time.
Yes.
What is your title at the department?
My official title is ESL Matriculation Coordinator. So basically, my job is consists of several main duties. One of them is helping students enroll into ESL classes. So within ESL, we serve a variety of students. So we serve someone who is still in school, perhaps in high school, all the way to someone who's, maybe a little bit older or much older and wants to learn the language for whatever reason. We're here to support them. One of my other duties is primarily assisting those high school seniors that are graduating and trying to continue their education here at Palomar. So we go out into the high schools and provide assistance with all of the onboarding. So it begins with providing outreach, helping them do the CCC application, making sure they do their self-placement, if they need assistance with Promise, with applying for financial aid, anything with maybe student services that we can help them, guide them, and then sending them to the admissions office. And then another component of my job is I co-coordinate a Spanish literacy program. So while I work for the English as a Second Language Department, within the department, we have a program that's focused on Spanish speakers that want to either begin or continue their education in their native language in Spanish to hopefully create the foundation in their own language so then they can transition onto learning those things in English to learn English as the next step.
That's really cool. That sounds like a very broad set of programs. I would love to know more about what kind of students you teach. I can imagine it's probably some adults, some high school students, college kids. Would you like to talk about more the public that you serve?
Sure. So our Palomar is open to everybody. The English as a Second Language Department is also open up to everybody. We have non-credit classes and credit classes. So the non-credit classes are free classes. They don't have a tuition, so they're open to essentially anyone without a cost. Depending where you take the class, you may have to still pay for the health fee. You may still have to pay for a parking permit. So those fees are still there, but there isn't any tuition. We serve basically anyone that wants to learn English, maybe their second language, maybe the third or fourth, or whatever it may be, for a variety of reasons. So some of them may, they want to get a better job. They want to help their kids, if they have kids in school with their homework, participate, personal growth, whatever the reason may be, we serve them. They could be in different stages of life. They could be from, we have, students who were born in the United States and, get moved to a different country and then later come back, but they don't know the language. So they may want to, again, continue their education or just learn the language. And then also we have, immigrants from different all over the world. So we don't, it's not our job to ask for immigration status. But we do have some students who let us know that they're refugees or, they may be in a variety of stages of, an immigration process, but we don't ask for that. We just provide our classes and provide our services for them. And then their ages will vary. Like I said, part of my job is working with those who are in graduating from high school. And most of the time, those students are going to take credit classes because they're going to take an academic route. So usually it has to do with their age, not necessarily, but a lot of high school graduates or graduating seniors want to continue learning English based on the level they are, and continue either getting, again, whether it be an associate's or transferring or getting a certificate. So we provide a foundation for them. The classes here at Palomar are open to anybody, but they are all in English. So whether it be instruction, labs, writing assignments, they're all going to be in English. So we want them to have the foundation in the English language so they can succeed in their classes. And then, but the option is also there. If they want to take non-credits. Older students usually take non-credit classes, again, just because, they don't have to pay for them, or just because the reason they're taking them is not necessarily for a career or to continue in an academic path.
I'm really happy to see that there's so many resources for international students. Would you say some are also international students as well, or the people you serve?
Yes. So like I said, when we had a Palomar, we used to have a more robust program with international. We still have the international office. So a lot of students would take the credit classes, because one of the requirements is for international students specifically is that they take credit classes. They would take English, and we have, just writing classes. We have pronunciation classes, grammar classes, and a variety of other classes that they could take for credit. So we did have a good amount of students who were international, who came. And when we say international, I mean students who specifically come on an international student visa.
Very cool. Thank you for that information. Do you, how many languages do you speak?
I only speak 2.
That's more than many other people.
Yes.
Do you speak Spanish?
I do.
Nice. Would you say that speaking multiple languages has helped you, find easier ways to communicate with people, or how has it affected your relationships, or ability to make connections in the world?
I think it definitely helps with communicating. You can communicate with more people. I think it makes it easier. At the same time, it does make, at least for me, because English is my second language. I didn't learn English till I was around, I came to the United States, and I was 9 years old. But there's that way of brain stuff where it's like sometimes I may have the word in Spanish, but I can't think of it in English, and it happens to me often. So while I can communicate with more people, I feel like it almost takes a little bit longer. But at the same time, you kind of look for those people that speak your language wherever you go in. And for me, at least, it's even if, I know somebody speaks Spanish, I may be more comfortable talking to them in Spanish or using Spanglish, the combination, speaking in both languages. And then when I'm out of the United States as well, even though I may be like in Mexico where everybody, where most people speak Spanish, if I hear someone speak English as well, that always catches your attention as well. And sometimes the interaction, but it's also difficult to know what preferred languages, because there's multiple. When there's people who are bilingual, who you may share the same languages, but it's also difficult to know what's their preferred language to communicate with, because some of them, even though they may speak it, they may not want to, or may not be their preferred language to communicate it.
This might be kind of going back to what we said before, but how did you get into this work? How did your life path bring you to doing this?
Let's see if I can get into it, just because of recent events. I originally wanted to be a business. I wanted to do business because my family is involved with different businesses. So I wanted to go to school. They said go to school, so that was my path. So I had to go to school. I wanted to do business, but then I started college, and then I got a job as a tutor, and then I realized the lack of representation with specifically in education of Latinos. We used to work at a middle school where the majority of the student population was like me when I was in school, yet the instructors or the teachers and administrators didn't look like them. So I specifically, with males, with Latinos, I felt like I was in an opportunity for me to give back to my community. And then during that time, I started learning about the leadership style and beliefs of Cesar Chavez. And that's why started learning more about that. And that's kind of how my life changed, where it was giving back to the community and serving the community. So I've been in education since then, and I've been working for the community and with the community, and that's something that really gives me a great satisfaction. Learn a language if you can, whether it be a spoken language or American Sign Language as well, and have patience with people. It's always hard to learn something new. It's harder to learn it in a completely different setting and outside of your natural environment, you could say, which is sometimes where our students are. And sometimes people get frustrated because some of us may learn a little bit slower or faster than others. So that would be, what I would have to say. Learn something for you just because it's going to benefit you. And it's kind of like wearing sunglasses, or, you could see, but sometimes you could see other things. Polarized sunglasses will allow you to just give you a different view as well. And again, like I said, just patience.
That's it for this episode of Impact Insights. If you want to hear more conversations like this, visit thetelescope.com for more coverage, podcasts, and the latest issue of Impact. Thanks for listening.